So this is an automation shortcut for automating your mixes or your production process so that your tracks can have more modulation. So anyways, and you can make it a bit more like Fruity Loops. What you do is create a bunch of modulation sort of sequences. So this one is kind of like a step sequencer, and I have a couple different variety here. You can just do dozens and dozens and dozens of these, and you could even make like multiple folders for different kinds of automation for different tasks. So anyway, next you want to use the automation tool to be able to select things. And so here I'll go to select this group and Command C for copy. So next we have to turn automation off, and we'll go down to our synth track, and we have to create a little region or just paste on top of a region that already exists, and enable automation again, and make sure you're on region-based automation. Although I think track automation might work for this as well. But anyways, so next you're going to go ahead and Control V to paste those parameters. And this is the tricky part. So copy this once again, and then choose the parameter you want to paste that into, hold down Command, and you'll get this prompt. And so we don't want to duplicate it, we want to convert it, so we're going to click Convert. So now we have this automation. Instead of triggering the volume, it's going to trigger the filter right here. So that goes for any of these parameters, and really the sky is the limit with this concept. So this automation stuff and making it rhythmic and making it adapt to the grid is very, very deep technical stuff. And that's why modern mixes sound the way they do. So anyway, that's how you can create like some quick tools to automate different things in your tracks with different styles of automation and different concepts. And also, for instance, like you might want to have like a subtle modulation for mixing pan, or subtle volume gyrations, so that it's like, not too noticeable. Or you could just do crazy stuff. So, like here I have a saw, or you could have sine waves or whatever. And you could even do like squiggly lines, and then you kind of copy and paste those. And I have these as 16 bars, so that I'll be able to quickly, adjust them as needed. Like for instance, copy this one over and over, depending on where I want to put it. And so that's how you can kind of quickly do this. And you can probably, like for instance, just grab a whole region and then stick it in here. And then we would just follow this same concept of, converting everything. So for instance, that's pan. So if I want to copy all that, I would just select all the automation. That's most of it. So Command C for copy, and choose my parameter that I want to paste it into. So this time we'll do filter drive. So I'm holding down Command again. I get the prompt again, and we choose convert. So here it should now modulate the drive. Let's see if we can see that. That's right here. So it does work. So you can see how this could add like a subtle nuance to parameters. So just think about like the depth of that. So for instance, that's one of the things you do as a producer. You're going in and you're creating this kind of buttery effect that's very subtle, but it's something that's going on to create this very subtle modulation, because really it's all about the different levels of modulation. This is an example of that. So it's not just harmonic modulation or distortions or thematics or whatever. You can even do like subtle things with all kinds of parameters. I mean, really, it's just like so deep. So anyway, that's how you do that. And you can quickly collapse these so that you'll be able to keep track of your mix, and you won't have all this automation folder items messing with your view here. And one more thing you can do, since you have this already set up already, you can use the MIDI transform, which is basically going into the menu here, by choosing, what is it, Control, click, and so we get our MIDI transform. And in this case, I would choose random velocity. And you can set up a preset so that it has this all ready to go. And so in this case, I went pretty wild, just messing around to make sure it works. But what it is make sure it's on fader, and you have to select and operate to get it going, I think, the first time. But then once that happens, you can really go crazy. And so if I didn't want such drastic peaks and valleys, then I can change those parameters a little bit and operate again. And so therefore we could take a region like this that's modulating this drive, but over here we're doing something different. So I'll do it again from here, and this is, we got to select and operate again to get it going, etc., etc. So therefore each passage is having a different modulation for the same parameter, but it's a subtle difference.